You know, after so many recent national weather events, though, new funding could soon be available to protect our communities from natural disasters.
That funding helps local governments invest in projects to deal with flooding, rising waters, coastal erosion, and much more.
Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp is joining us live with the details tonight from the U.S. Capitol. Rachel, good evening.
Good evening, Mike and Eva. So it's called the Storm Act. It's a bill that was passed in 2021, but this new funding is finally now being made available to communities across the nation. So the funding is different than your typical FEMA grants. This funding will be used to help states establish a revolving loan program for local governments to carry out mitigation projects that reduce natural disaster risks, including extreme flooding, shoreline erosion, rising water levels that have put homes, businesses, property, and communities at risk and could cause millions of dollars in damage if they are not protected. I spoke with people from the Regional Science Consortium in the Erie area. They tell me flooding in the parking lots in Presque Isle State Park could be impacted if the sand dunes and coastal resilience isn't maintained, especially with strong storm events. These funds could potentially help communities deal with shoreline erosion, something the Regional Science Consortium is watching out for. Senator Gary Peters of Michigan tells me that we know that climate change is causing storms that are happening with great frequency and intensity, and sometimes our infrastructure is simply not designed to handle that. These funds could be a game changer for communities.
If you look at just the economics of this investment, every dollar you invest up front to make our infrastructure more resilient saves roughly $6 to the taxpayers. This makes good economic sense, and it allows FEMA to make these kinds of investments up front.
FEMA announced today that 7 states, including New York State, will get a combined $50 million for part of this loan. Mike, Eva, back to you.